Now that we know that what sensory systems are and what kind of sensory issues we typically think we are discussing. What are we discussing today? We are discussing sensory issues. What does occupational therapy? Occupational therapy is the name of a profession which uses sensory integration, or which uses sensory integration as the understanding the problem and treating the problem. Occupational therapy or occupational therapist, the person who found sensory integration in 1960s, she brought in a body of knowledge, and that body of knowledge is called the sensory integration theory. The sensory integration theory has a lot of implication in understanding the child, understanding why they are having developmental problem, or also understanding what is the underlying reason for their behavior. Now, usually we think that sensory integration and behavior are different. Sensory issues are different, the behavior issues are different. But actually, the theory of sensory integration, and I'll show you in a picture, it says this. The simplest idea was of Jean Ayers, who found the sensory integration theory. She was said to be ahead of her time because at that time nobody believed her. Like so many other scientists, nobody believed that this is true. She was the first person to say that the behavior is the external layer. External means this, it is comes to your eyes. You see the child doing a behavior. What you don't see is that the behavior is not due to the child showing the behavior, but because there is an underlying problem at the brain level. And the brain level problem, to be defined as even more specifically, was the sensory. Because where are sensory ultimately? These parts of your sensory system, they are just receptors. Receptors means they receive. They're just a receiver. Like this phone, like this microphone is just receiving it. Ultimately, that the sound then goes somewhere else. So these receivers are only the external layer, but after that they ultimately go to your brain. The signals go to your brain, and then the brain makes meaning out of it. What is the meaning? When the sound comes, when somebody talks to me, the ear receives it, takes it to the brain, and then the brain applies a little bit of intelligence to it, a little bit of previous understanding, memory, vocabulary to it, and then so this processing is being done in the brain. So the brain is the processor. But now, if your brain state, like we said, the state, the condition is not okay, and there can be various types of things that can happen in that not okay thing, it will express as behavior. So the behavior actually is showing what is going on in the brain. It shows you what is going on. The behavior is not showing you the behavior itself. My child lies down on the floor and starts crying without a reason. Now what is visible to us is the behavior. Is that child is crying, there is no reason. I have tried everything. I have tried diversion also. I have tried greed also. Right? But it doesn't seem to help a lot. Maybe it helps at that time, but doesn't help in solving the problem in the overall sense. And it could be, I'm not saying it will always be like this. It is the reason could be that the crying and the tantrum and the meltdown is happening because my brain's emotional center is not very okay. So my brain's emotional center is not okay, is being shown by the behavior of the child. Right? So the behavior only shows what is my brain doing, or in what condition is my brain in now. At present, because I can't see the brain, right? I can't see it from outside. What is the brain's condition now? The behavior itself shows what is the brain's condition. Is it in good health, or is it not in good health? When I say health, I mean emotional health. How is the emotional health? Not because there's a reason. Not that the parenting is not good, or we are not giving enough time, or both parents are working, or the child keeps watching TV only. Right? That is not the reason. The reason is that the child has a developmental problem, and that is why the emotional health can be lower, and that is why the child's behavior is like that. But what we see is, child is lying down. That's it. The child is stubborn. He wants something, then he wants something. He cannot change his ideas or thought. That's what we focus on completely. Whereas this theory, sense integration theory, says that start focusing on the brain. Don't focus only on that part. Don't focus on what you see. Start focusing on what you don't see. But for what you don't see, for looking at that, first we need understanding of what is it what we are talking about. And that is why we are here. Right?